Hi cozy friends, this is Jules aka the Caffeinated Cozy Gamer. Welcome to my channel. Now, after Nintendo unveiled the Switch 2 a couple of weeks ago, I've seen a lot of confusion and misinformation going around regarding backwards compatibility, Switch 2 versions of games, game upgrades, everything is very muddled, so today I'm here to clear it all up. So without any further ado, let's get started with backwards compatibility. The Switch 2 will be able to play all of your Switch 1 games with a few exceptions. For example, the Nintendo Labo VR kit will not be compatible due to the larger size of the Switch 2 screen, and games like Ring Fit Adventure will need Switch 1 Joy-Cons in order to work, as the new Switch 2 magnetic Joy-Cons cannot be attached to the Pilates ring that comes with the game. Some free-to-play games like Fortnite, Rocket League or Palia also seem to have some issues running on the system, though they will likely get dedicated Switch 2 updates to fix this problem very soon. You can see the full list of games that are not going to be compatible on day one directly on the Nintendo website linked in the video description. These games aside, you will be able to play your Switch 1 games simply by downloading them or inserting the cartridge in the Switch 2 at no additional cost, and you can carry save data over with the system transfer. Easy peasy! Some Switch 1 games will also be getting free upgrades to improve playability and performance on the Switch 2. These include ARMS, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Game Builder Garage, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Big Brain Academy Brain vs. Brain. Some of these games will also receive added functionality for the new Game Share feature, allowing multiple players to play in multiplayer on different Switches with a single copy of the game, similarly to the download play functionality on old Nintendo DS systems. A handful of games will also receive more substantial upgrades to improve visuals and performance to Switch 2 standards. So far, 4 games have been confirmed to receive these updates, which will be paid. Let's break them down. First of all, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will receive Switch 2 upgrades on day one. These will allow the games to run at higher, stable frame rates and improve the quality of the graphics. Some extra functionality involving the Nintendo Switch phone app will also be added, allowing players to more easily find shrines and Koroks, amongst other things. Prices for Europe and the UK have not been confirmed yet, but we do know that these upgrades will cost $9.99 in the US, so expect similar pricing on this side of the pond. However, if you are a member of the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, you can access the Zelda upgrades at no additional cost. Those who have never owned these, frankly amazing, games on Switch 1 and want to take the plunge on the new console can also buy a physical Switch 2 edition of the game, which includes the base game and upgrades on the cartridge with no additional downloads required. Be careful though, the Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition does not include the DLC, so if you want it, you will have to purchase it separately. Ouch. We then have 2 games, announced so far, that will be getting DLC bundled in with the graphical updates. Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Star-Crossed Worlds. What a mouthful! The Jamboree TV DLC is basically an expansion pack containing a host of new minigames that take advantage of the camera, built-in microphone and mouse functionality exclusive to the Switch 2. It looks like a lot of fun, but do note that you will need the camera, which is sold separately, to play a lot of these new minigames. However, Nintendo have confirmed that the Switch 2 is actually compatible with any USB-C webcam, so if you have one lying around already, it should do the trick. The Kirby Star-Crossed World DLC, on the other hand, seems to add new areas and power-ups to the existing game levels in Kirby and the Forgotten Land, offering players a new way to play. I am personally super excited for this one, as Kirby and the Forgotten Land is one of my favorite 3D platformers of all time, and I have been itching for a replay lately. Jamboree TV will release on the 24th of July, while Star-Crossed World will release on the 28th of August. Both will retail for $19.99 in the US, with similar pricing likely to be announced soon for the UK and Europe. Much like the Zelda Switch 2 versions, you will be able to purchase physical versions including all content on a single cartridge, or buy the upgrade separately on the eShop if you already own the base games on Switch 1. These will, however, not be available for free via the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack subscription. Finally, we also have some games specifically releasing after the 5th of June that will release with both Switch 1 and Switch 2 editions. So far, we know of Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and Pokémon Legends ZA, amongst others. Switch 1 versions will be playable on Switch 2, but will probably not look quite as snazzy and clean as the Switch 2 versions, as they will not have been optimized for the new console. So, to sum it all up, you will be able to play all of your Switch games, with a few exceptions, on Switch 2 at no additional cost, and your saved data carries over via a system transfer. Some games that had performance issues on the Switch 1 will receive free upgrades to fix the frame rate and graphics on the more powerful Switch 2, while others, where the developers actually went back in and reworked the games to take better advantage of the Switch 2, will be paid. At this point in time, around 2 months before the Switch 2 release, it seems that these upgrades will either cost $10 and be free for Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack members, or cost $20 and include some substantial DLC for the base game. And finally, some big games releasing after the 5th of June will release on both Switch 1 and Switch 2, with the Switch 1 versions running on the Switch 2, but likely not looking quite as nice as the version specifically developed for the Switch 2 hardware. Phew, that was a lot! I hope that my video cleared things up for you, and if it didn't, do leave me a question in the comments and I will do my best to answer. Also let me know, are you excited about the Switch 2? Are you getting it day one, or are you going to wait a while? And also, which games are you looking forward to the most? Let me know, I would love to nerd out with you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you liked my video, please do leave me a thumbs up, it really helps, and you can also come and hang out with me on my cozy Twitch streams. I wish you all an amazing day, and I hope to see you again soon. Caffeinated Cozy Gamer out.